So they'll just pass on that probably.
All right.
So yep, Torchman.
So yeah,
Torchman.
saying that to a developer's face and whatnot, especially like when when the decision is absolutely obviously out of their hands, pretty dick thing to do. So I get, so you know, don't do that. That's just the asshole thing you should do. What I would have done, and I said this to my brother and friends, like if I had been in there for that announcement, I would have just walked away out of the room. I would have gotten up and left.
Yeah, was not what anybody was really interested in seeing. Not anybody that would have been in that audience.
It would have said way more visually without being a colossal asshole about it. And it's like, well, leave it walking out of a thing and the whole thing is rude. Like, you just gotta go over him, I think. Or just shoot him off. He's not gonna move any faster than do that.
Not as effective as I was hoping it would be.
Alright then.
So,
But yeah, so like that's the thing, like that would have been the way to go about it, I feel is
no! No! Oh!
that's funny. I think that owl's keeping you lit, so don't kill any of them. Granted, you don't have the optimal motion thing there.
I'll just put him out.
Now, here's the other pretty obvious that you gotta use here. Just get more energy to power it up.
I'm gonna power it up.
Obviously use the thunderstorm on him. The thunderstorm.
Yeah.
There you go. Gold turkey.
Also, I like that they were in a little bonfire there. That's kind of cute.
Yeah. Now, the industry has been in like full circle the wagons mode, from what I've seen. You know, a lot of people, not everyone is doing it for this reason, but there are a lot of people who've just been,
Got staggered.
coming out the woodwork to defend Blizzard. Like, oh, this, like, you haven't even played the game yet. How do you know you're gonna like it or not? Like, they're probably gonna like it because it's just a reskin of Diablo.
Or no.
I mean,
No, the game is a reskin of an existing mobile game that was made by NetEase already. It's like
also that, but it's basically like, it's just that game, but less. It's just Diablo 3, but less.
yeah.
Really. So not that, you know, they do, it's not that they like, it's not that they hate the game without playing it, they hate the whole, everything else around the game. NetEase is a Chinese mobile game company known for microtransactions,
And
horrible
treating their-
customer service,
Yeah, and treating their customers like shit.
and cookie cutter game design.
I hate myself.
It's coming out of there.
Just like in this little hovel.
I wouldn't kill that guy. We got a whole bunch of... Yeah, I should have done that.
Well, you know.
It's only gonna hit one at a time. Luckily, you can see behind those guys. You have to jump. Okay, there's.
Alright, I can't see a goddamn thing.
Yeah, you gotta heal up. You gotta heal. Thunderball. That lights it up pretty good there. Just go, dude. But they got a lot of publishers and whatnot. Stop. Don't know why you held it on for the entire time, but whatever. Alright.
Made it.
There's Thunderstorm.
Not a whole lot of power in there.
You've got a weapon tank, so it's fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're getting distracted as we're playing the game. We're not able to talk about the same thing.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to.
Yeah, no, I mean, NetEase has a very terrible reputation in China for treating their customers very badly. It's considered they avoid anything that is attached to NetEase. So, it's unfortunate that the idea that, oh, well, this will sell very well in China because, like 600, 40 million something smartphones in there, when a lot of the people that are actually like hardcore mobile game players don't like that company. So even if you throw Blizzard on top of it or Diablo skins onto it, it's not going to be as successful as they're hoping. Is it still going to do stuff and make the money? Yeah, sure, of course it is. It's a reskin of another game. I don't think there's a whole lot of dev time they put into this from just on the outside appearance.
And they cut out the Witch Doctor for some reason.
And yeah, they cut the Witch Doctor out. But the whole thing, it wasn't what anybody who was in that audience wanted to see. And I know that they weren't going to be able to announce Diablo 4 or show anything for it at BlizzCon, but nothing would have been better.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would have. I think it was just a unfortunate thing where they had to show something, and that's what they had to show, and it was never going to do well at that in that setting. And I feel bad for the guys who had to present it and people who worked on it, because it's like, hey, I made this and I'm really proud of it. That's fine. Be proud of what you make. It's not for me, but it's not targeted at me, and
that's okay.
That's okay. It's perfectly okay. However, if I paid to go to BlizzCon and I went to the Diablo thing and super excited to see something, and then I saw something that wasn't even remotely aimed at me, I'd have been a little upset too. I mean, there wasn't a lot of BlizzCon this year that was super exciting. I'm happy about Warcraft 3 Reforged. I'm super happy about it. I can't wait to play it because I love that game. But I know a lot of people are also experiencing like remaster fatigue, and I understand that. I respect that. It's just, I tried going back playing Warcraft 3 on my PC, and the controls have not aged well. The game visually, it still doesn't look good. Now, it's not bad. It's just, it just hasn't aged super well. And a lot of things from back then, they don't age very well. I mean, heck, I think they recently just patched it like within this year to make it so it could have widescreen capability. I think they added a lot of like those options, but oh man, multiple reskins of games using the same engine. The Kung Fu Panda one and another one that they did with Paladins. Damn, I didn't realize that there was that many reskins
it's
on
not
it.
great. Point is, like, people have good reason to be pissed off, and at the same time, don't be massive assholes about it. It's like, well, what are you saying? Like, just saying that, yeah, Diablo fucked up. Blizzard fucked up royally, in various ways. Showing some screenshots of remastered Diablo 2 could have been the worst idea in the world,
Yeah.
That people would have been happy with that.
Yeah, then they would have been. It's like, hey, we're working on it. Here's how it's starting, and here's what we're looking to do with it. And that'd been fine. But, at the same time, also, people in the fucking game journalist, and I'm using little fucking finger quotes in the air like an asshole. I'm
lot of
sorry. I
journalists
have
are
a lot of
marketing
respect for any game
representatives.
journalists at all, because some of them are just journalists. Not all of them are gamers. They're just people who, you know, sought careers in journalism, and it was one of the options. So they may not have ever had an option. And some of those guys, you know, I'm sure they're nice people, but they're talking about it like this one guy who's just made an ass himself on a deal is indicative of like, oh, this is why gamers are awful. I'm like, no, gamers are awful for a lot of other reasons. That guy was an ass for what he did there, but the fact that Blizzard has repeatedly taken down and re-uploaded the actual trailer for Immortal because it's being disliked into oblivion again and again and again and again.
It's like, well, all those are bot things. Like, the bot dislikes are getting removed.
Yeah, bot
which
dislikes
is
eventually
fine.
get removed. Bot dislikes eventually get removed. And there are people, especially, you know, people who are technically inclined, like a lot of gamers and PC gamers are, where they can make bots that just rapidly go in and dislike videos. They can do that shit. However, people don't, not everybody does that out of pure malicious intent and says like, oh, I just want to be an ass. Like, no, they're doing it because they're upset enough that they felt the need to do that. And people aren't happy about it. And trying to like flash as like, oh, well, we feel that that's not indicative of actually how people feel about the games. Like, it's pretty indicative regardless. And people going in and says like, oh, a lot of guys are upset about this because like they don't see mobile gaming as a real platform. I was like, no, I accept mobile gaming as the real thing. I do, because I have had Game Boys in my life. I understand the notion of a handheld game system. Mobile gaming itself has a lot of things that are attached to it that is very much heavily frowned upon in general. The notion that they are heavily microtransaction based, even though they're free to play, where it heavily rewards people who are the whales in those games, and it takes away any sort of skill and fun in the game. I understand companies need to make money, but you could just sell a game like, hey, here's $20 for this game that has all this other stuff, and that's fine, and don't do microtransactions on it and see how well it does. But there's so many games that are just people are free to download and play.
Fortnite.
Yeah, and just do that. So I understand the market's really kind of messed up on mobile gaming, on smartphone games. But people don't, and the thing is like people, it's like, oh, they don't like mobile smartphone games because it's, they can see it as women's gaming. Like, I don't know what asshole thinks that, if there are any, but that's a really heavy cop-out, and it also kind of discards the fact that a shitload of female gamers play console, play handheld,
Play PC.
play PC. Okay, saying that, oh, this is a female thing like that, that's also kind of doing a disservice toward women in gaming, gamers in general. So that's dumb. That's stupid shit right there. People are saying it's like, oh, this is just for women, blah, blah, blah. I don't like mobile gaming because mobile gaming is affiliated with women, blah, 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 blah. Gamergate, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit misogyny. It's not that. And immediately, like, throwing every single person who doesn't like this game with some, like, entitled edgelord man-child is really fucking insulting. And it's why, and it points out the notion that so many of these companies that have journalists that work for them, and so many folks that earn their game journalists, especially folks who are known and bigger names, they shill. And looking at their tweets, it's so obvious that they're shilling because they don't want Blizzard to be upset with them.
Yeah.
And that may not, and I can't put the blame on Blizzard for that, because folks at Blizzard's like, no, it's just like, I guarantee there's some people in Blizzard that aren't happy about it. They aren't happy about that. They aren't happy with what the problem put out, and they aren't happy about the situation. But they're kind of stuck there. Now there's people
by Activision.
there's people who are in heavy marketers, people who make decisions about who gets to demo certain things or who gets invited to events. And those people aren't really gamers. They aren't. They're people, they're suits. That's how I look at them. And they just like, oh, if you're going to say anything bad about us, I don't want everything affiliated with you. Because they want, like, oh, they only want people who are going to be sycophants. And it's terrible. Yeah, that headset's getting busted.
That's it.
Yeah.
They can't even stick in here anymore.
I don't know, maybe we can do some tape on it. Yeah, speaking of things, like this Overwatch headset we got, it cracked and broke apart at the ear sides because it's hard plastic and that spot's not very flexible, so the area around it got torched. It got a lot of torsion and it broke. Luckily, haha, I got them on an Amazon deal where it's half off because it is not a very good headset. We'll probably just have to buy another one here before too long. But anyway, that's not really here or there. But it's just really disappointing because you're seeing it and it's completely obvious where all they're doing is talking back and forth to each other about how, like, oh, the game was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. These guys aren't giving it a chance. Calling the guy who did it as an ass, yeah, he's an ass. That's fine. But then this whole tirade they're going on about people who dislike the games or people who don't understand what the devs are dealing with or anything like that. No, it's complete shillery. That's all it is, in my opinion. And it's completely obvious. It's transparent as all get out that these are people who are talking with their paycheck and their future interests in mind on that. Because, I mean, the worst I've seen one of these people say about it is like, hey, I'm not interested in the game, but it's still solid and fun or stuff like that. I'm like, this is like, the worst that you would say was that you weren't interested in the game. Okay, like, and instead of acknowledging, like, and some other people, a lot of folks that are more freelance and aren't like heavy affiliated with like the major game journalists like companies like IGN and GameSpot and stuff like that, or the people who have been big names from like Kotaku and everything like that, saying it's like, oh, they're the ones who are literally just saying this, like, who are going super hardcore to defend the game in a way that is like very unusual for something that we all allegedly know nothing about. Like, why? Oh, it seems like all people who suddenly have insider information are the ones who are really in favor of the game, which seems kind of suspect to me. So I don't really care for that sort of thing. But we've been kind of sitting here, we're not fighting this boss for a little while, and I do apologize. It kind of ended up being a little bit like a miniature podcast talking about it, but it's just one of those things where me and my brother are very big gamers. We're huge fans of gaming in general, from board games to standard stuff, and we think a lot about the industry and about where games are going and what's happening in it, and it matters just because it's our hobby and it's something that we love, and it's our way that we've managed to connect with our friends and our brothers all around the country, and it's part of who we are, and it just bothers me whenever we see shit like that.
It's not, yeah, and you go ahead in there.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, this ruins gaming for us or anything like that. No, this doesn't ruin gaming for anybody. You know, and this probably isn't the end of Diablo as we know it. So, you know, calm down, everybody. Ah. You have no juice.
Yeah, I know.
You can't shoot with those.
Ooh.
Ah! Just shoot him!
I'm trying.
Shoot his ass!
I'm trying. He keeps throwing stuff in the way. Anyway, the guy's dead. So, yeah. Long episode. Well, we'll just probably just label the podcast talking about Twitch and BlizzCon as well. It is what it is.
But yeah, we're done talking about it, I think, now. We've said what we wanted to say.
Yep. Although I will say, we do play a lot of Heroes of the Storm, and I was pleased about a lot of the Heroes announcements that I saw. I'm looking forward to the new one they're putting out.
And the Warcraft 3 remaster.
Yes, definitely looking forward to that. I'm kind of wish that they had. I kind of wish that they had announced. Oh damn! I kind of wish that they had announced a Blizzard specific hero for Heroes of Storm instead of just a new like character, just like, oh, this person's from the Nexus.
Which is cool, and it definitely needs to happen anyway, because, you know, they're gonna run out of people eventually.
Interesting. Neat. So,
Thanks, David.
That's what it is. But anyway, that was Torchman. Next we're gonna do Blastman, and then finally we're gonna be moving on to Wily stages.
Yep. Probably go ahead and purchase crap from Knuckle Light's lab.
Yeah. It's always running very well.
It does feel like, I guess like whenever you beat a level it does that mostly. I don't know, it's weird.
I have no idea, man.
Are you sure?
Also, I'm just like never gonna run out of this shit.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Looks like you can't. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll buy a couple of these. Why the fuck not?
Are you sure?
I should be able to buy in bulk. I really
Are
should.
you sure?
Anyway, did you unlock any more parts?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Ready.
Yo, Mega.
Nope.
No.
Can I interest you in some
No.
parts?
Nothing. Huh. Alright, well. I'm gonna save my data just real quick. Boop. And we will pick up on this one though next time. Till later, Remainers.
Later, guys.
Thanks for watching. Click our logo to subscribe. But if you want to help us defeat the real final boss, YouTube's metrics and analytics, you can support us by liking our content and leaving comments below. See you later, Remainers.